Hello, everybody. Cedric and CJ here, CR Wrestling Commentary. We'll be doing our little spiel, seeing what we find interesting on AEW Dynamite. Everyone knows how someone like us, feel about AEW in general. But that doesn't mean that it's nothing good on the show. And the show started off with a really, bang up of a match. It was great. It was great. It was the Blackpool Combat Club's members, Wheeler Yuta and Claudio Castagnoli, against Chris Jericho and Daniel Garcia.
And the rest of the JAS.
Yeah, and the rest of them. So it's a tag match. It was a good tag match.
Claudio and Wheeler were ready.
Yes.
They started out ready. They didn't lollygag. They weren't going through the motions. They were the aggressors the entire match.
They dictated the pace.
Claudio went there and whooped Jericho's ass for about 20-30 seconds straight, and Jericho had to run for cover.
Yep.
That's how the match started.
I liked it. You saw wrestling, and that's the thing. I was like, okay, let me just be honest. Okay, I'm gonna just break the fourth wall and whatnot. Listen, because it's AEW, I'm already mentally soured on the match. That's the messed up part. And I've mentioned this a while ago. And the hard thing is coming out of that sourness to actually see that something good is happening in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So when you've been down and out on something, and then something within that something is actually good, it can be hard to see it. Everyone experiences that in their life at some point. So I have to acknowledge they're all wrestling. This is a wrestling match. This is going well. All right. It's not a spot monkey match. No. It's not a big spot move match. No. They're wrestling. They're doing what they need to do. Now, granted, there was a point where Castagnoli got Jericho in the giant swing with Daniel Garcia on his back for the airplane spin. I think that should have been saved for a pay-per-view or something.
Yeah.
That's all I think. I don't think that's a stupid move. It looks a bit preposterous because Daniel has to hold himself up.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you jump up on something and then it gets going. It's kind of a little hard and let go.
And it kind of, it makes the faces look good.
Yeah. So it's all good. I just wish it was saved for a pay-per-view. It gives you, because when you say something, here's the brief psychology. You say something for a pay-per-view, and then people talk about what happened on there that you're not going to see usually on TV, then that means people want to see what you're going to do with the next pay-per-view because you're only going to do it there. So that puts more ticket buys and pay-per-view buys and whatnot. So that's the point of that. There was a spot after a little chicanery and whatnot because Hager outside, wow, he was all over the place. He wasn't going to leave anybody alone. Now, I admit, I like the white and purple ensemble, but on Jake Hager, little thin legs, it ain't making it.
Thin legs.
It ain't making it.
Should have wore pants.
Yeah. Jake Hager did great interfering. I thought he did a good job of interfering. Making sure that the ref couldn't see it, although the ref was buried completely in this match. They didn't listen to her. She wasn't trying to get control of anything. They just did what they did, and she just kind of had to jump out the way. Claudio, at one point, just said, "I am sick of this." So he did the running senton off the apron onto Hager, and then he went and do we kick somebody else, double stomp somebody else, and then did a running European uppercut to finish him off.
Yeah, into the guardrail.
Yeah, and I was okay. Siege was like, that was satisfying.
It was because he laid four of them out all in one action, and they've been like I said, they've been bouncing around like a bunch of orangutans in and out of the damn ring, dragging folks out and shit the whole match. So for them to get laid out for all of their antics was satisfying.
And she was quite satisfied. She was just like, I know that's kind of silly and all, but that was so satisfying. I was like, I couldn't disagree with that. At one point, Yuta got the hot tag and he came in and, you know, on Rough Shot on Jericho going for the pin and popped up out of that and tackled Daniel Garcia in one fell swoop. He was all over him. The problem is he just threw those stupid looking punches at his forearms, getting nothing accomplished. But in a real fight, I've seen it. That's common. If somebody covers up, they're just trying to throw headshots. So when they cover up, they're going to hit the forearms. I get it. It's a legit thing. If you watch anybody fight, somebody fall to the ground and they cover up, the person ain't going to sit there and try to headhunt logically. They're just throwing bombs. They're just throwing bombs and hitting whatever they can hit that's somewhere above the shoulder up. That's really all they're doing. So it makes sense. I get it. So it's all good. I can give a little slide way more than some other commentators can.
I wish more folks went to the body.
Yeah. So she's just a strong proponent of that. Go to the body. That's why she likes Tanahashi.
Go to the body because you never see it coming.
He
slip it in there and then you on your knees.
Yep.
It dropped me. It would drop anybody. Nobody's prepared to take a blow to the body.
You sitting there covering up your head and boom, body shot. Oh no. Oh my Lord. And then that's it. You know, my ribs, you all messed up. So, and yeah, I've seen it. I've done it. Just saying, you know, it's happened. So.
How many organs you got in your body?
Really? A body shot. That's a lot of organs you hitting at one time. Just saying. The match does continue. It goes on. And you know what? I gotta say, I like that Jericho caught Castagnoli off to the springboard with a code breaker, that falling knee.
Yeah.
I like that.
I just don't like the code breaker.
Why?
To me, it never looks clean.
Yeah, that's it?
Really? It's like the lung blowers. When they do the attacks where you have to pull them down onto your knees, they don't look clean, or I don't buy it.
You don't?
Mm-mm.
I mean,
I've tried.
Let's see. Okay, look. In Fire Pro, your character got it. Why are you all right with that?
Because it looks clean in the video game.
So you're saying it's too sloppy? They're like they slide off, or they don't really fully get it, or whatnot?
Yeah, there's very few of those that I've seen where I'm like, oh yeah, that looks impactful and clean.
Okay, I see what you mean. Ultimately, Castagnoli, he gets the win. Jericho's pinned. Yay. And then they go to the back. Bryan Danielson, he's being interviewed, and he's like, I'm mad at losing to Jericho. I'm mad at Wheeler Yuta and stuff.
Talking back to me. Those were
talking
the words.
back. I was like, talking back. I was like, ain't no damn boy, what's wrong with you? And
then Wheeler stepped up and he said the line, I'm a grown ass man.
Yep, you got something to say. You need to break out and say it. And
it's almost like Danielson took offense to the fact that this dude had to acknowledge to you that he's grown.
Yep. Because it's like talking back. That's a line. That is a line. Those words are crossing the line, just to be honest with you. So maybe this is the beginning of a heel turn for Danielson.
Or he's just showing his elitism.
Is one of the two. Or is it both?
It could be both.
Yep. So Claudio gets in the way and it's like, look, chill. Is Yuta's birthday. We're gonna talk about this later. I got a good win over the champion. So, because that's basically a satisfactory win for Castagnoli, who Jericho won it from. So, it's a little bit of grudge in that.
And
they didn't play that up in commentary that I even really noticed.
No, they didn't. But see, here's the thing. I know why Danielson's mad. Danielson played the whole psychology game. You're a wrestler. Come be on my side. And then go say, oh, you were my hero. And yeah.
Yeah.
And then he got played. And Wheeler's like, why don't you go out there and wrestle?
Yeah.
Shut your mouth. Go out there and get the job done.
Yeah.
Ain't that what you're here for? All this yeah. No, nobody got time for that. You frustrated because you got played.
All right. Go out there and make right of it.
Exactly.
But he was like, anyone could see that coming. I saw that coming a mile away. And Wheeler Yuta was saying that because he was basing it off of the whole, what people were saying on Twitter and whatnot. Like, isn't it obvious what was going to happen, But they're speaking in hindsight. So he's going with that. So, yeah, but I ain't gonna lie, Danielson rubbed me the wrong way when he said he talked back.
I'm like, dude,
talking back. That's not even really adult children thing. No, that's a bully thing. Mm-hmm. If you ever hear an adult say, "Man, my child shouldn't talk back to me," no, your child is probably saying something that makes sense and you don't like it, or maybe they saying something stupid, don't make sense, but it ain't talking back. Use that reasoning to help educate your kid and or you. You know, bullies don't want to be educated. Jackweeds don't care to learn. They just don't. Danielson might be doing a major heel turn here. I think that's what might be going on.
But think about how they treated. Okay, I understand. You'd have won the pure title.
Yeah. And I think that was a gross thing to do.
And he probably shouldn't have won it, especially with who he wrestled against. But on the flip side of that, we've already seen that he's very much capable of wrestling that style and wrestling in that style well. Mm-hmm. So he's walking around with the pure title and he's being treated like he just came from, developmental. Yeah. That's the way they treated him.
Yep.
And I can see Regal doing that. Fine. But they're all in the same standing.
Elevate your people. Don't sit there and try to be better than them, So,
oh, I've been in the business longer. I've been in WWE, yada, yada, yada. So you're my underling. I really think, because that's the way they treated him. And I never liked that. I never liked that. Because I was kept like, anytime we watched it, I kept saying, this dude's the pure title champion. And they're treating him like he's a
jobber that got lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how other commentators talk about him too. And it sucks. Like, why can't you just see the talent that the person beholds, instead of, hey, this person has no makings of what I'm used to seeing as a world champion, so this person doesn't belong in wrestling. Yeah. But if everyone has the caliber of a world champion, then how can you legitimately select who's going to be a world champion when none of them should be losing in the first place because they all have the caliber of a world champion? The whole everyone's a giant, so who's the giant?
Yeah.
So other commentators need to get a grip of what they're saying.
And I'm sure Wheeler was tired of it too. Cause like, you know what? I'm working hard.
Yeah.
And he was able to get out from under the BS of the best friends.
Yes. What in the world? What's the man? Hold up. What someone would say, what's a boy to do?
What's a boy to do?
So, I look. Granted, Wheeler Yuta, I can't see him as AEW world champion. Okay? I can't. But any other title?
Yeah. He could be the
Ring of Honor world champion? He's got some work.
He could be the television, Ring of Honor television. He could be the TNT. He could be the Mid-Atlantic, West Atlantic, Continental Shelf champion. Yes.
Yes, he could. Yes, he could. And depending upon how the match go, it would make sense and whatnot.
Old school, he would be a good U.S. champion, good Intercontinental champion.
Yeah, somebody that you look at and say, okay, this is a representation of the company, and they're holding down the belt, and we're going to put their strengths out there for everyone to see, but not any of their weaknesses, and we're going to make this person look strong. So you got to beat his intelligence, his cunningness, in that ring, his ring savvy at the style that he worked, that high level of technical skill. Yes, and you show that off all the time. That would be great, but other than that, it's they're just people of a certain type are going to say this guy should be buried all the time and he's not ready for anything.
What Danielson, he'd be mad about that he got thrown over for Moxley.
That's what he should be mad at. Moxley's a big guy. He looks like he should be a champion, and he's favored by the owner. So no, he ain't gonna go off on Moxley. He ain't gonna go off on Moxley. That makes Danielson, whether it be what we see of his persona on screen or how what is really going on backstage, it makes him look like a bitch.
Because Danielson can wrestle rings around Moxley.
Yep.
He should have had the belt a long time ago.
Yes,
but nope, they hung that shit back on Goon. Sir bleed a lot.
Because Goon is indie style. Goon does indie. Goon does blood.
Need to give that man a sanitary napkin. That's how much bleeding he do.
Yep. So, and that's what the owner like. And so, therefore, Goon gets built. Danielson as a heel solo with that belt would have been awesome. Mm-hmm. But they don't know that. They know the indie style, and those are the people that they cater to, which are the only people that's really going to get that damn belt.
And Tony Khan, I know his anus from a hole in the wall, so
that we got issues with that, you know. So, I mean, it is what it is. But leaving this
on a positive note,
I'm gonna tell you this: Cedric got her first taste of William Regal just cringe-worthiness at Sockface.
I know, man. He darn near creaming himself over it, and I'm like, what?
I've been hearing it for months.
I heard it once before, but it wasn't as blatant as the creme brulee where he just did.
and just pour you into me.
I
and
can go crack you and just have you melt into me.
Yeah, melt into me.
I'm like, oh no.
I should have recorded that reaction, but I didn't. I don't know when that's going to come out though.
Excalibur, he didn't have anything to say.
He never does. He never does. It's like what can you say?
Oh, I'm sure he's so uncomfortable.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I'm sure he's so uncomfortable.
Love it. So there we go. High note of the thing, and that was at the opening of the match.
And it was a great match.
Yes.
Wheeler and Castagnoli did really good. It was really good.
They would be a decent tag team.
They would be a great tag team. They seem to work well together. You know, that all they got to do was work on the gimmick of tag team, which is keeping the person in their corner and getting the tag in and out. But other than that, they got it down.
And no backslaps. Actually tag and show how it's done. That's what you do. That's what you do. So with that, we're going to see if anything else happens. All right. So, next match is number one contendership for the All Elite Wrestling World Tag Team Championship. And that's held by the Acclaim, but this is FTR versus Swerve in Our Glory. And look, a lot of people might be down on this match or whatnot, saying there's too many spots or whatnot. No, this was a pay-per-view level match you got for free. This was a 5-star match if there ever is an actual one on AEW. Mm-hmm. This was it. This had a steady build-up. It had a climactic finish. It had everything in between. And I admit, there are parts where I'm like, match probably should have ended there. There are certain moves I'm like, no one should really be kicking out of this.
Yeah.
You know, I admit, the tossing power bombs and other almost any power bomb by Keith Lee.
Yeah.
You know,
and I guess you call them the slingshot power bomb that Dax put on Swerve.
That was so awesome.
That whole exchange.
There isn't a spot in the only hiccup in the match, truthfully, was Swerve slipping on the bottom rope. They should have called a different kind of audible and worked with it, but they tried to pick it up off of that. That sort of exposes the business, although we know the cat's out the bag. But that don't mean you can't put it back in there and haul it off where you want to go.
But it was so quick and smooth.
Yes.
And they kept it moving, which I always think is important. You just keep it moving. You don't try to set it exactly back up the way it was and redo it exactly.
Or don't do what a Kenny Omega would do and just say, oh, there's a mess up. Let me placate to the crowd and say, yeah, that was a mess up. Mm-hmm. No. They, bam, keep it going. Be professional. You know, Beyonce falling, trip head over heels. She just get up and keep on rocking. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't
grab the mic and give a 10 minutes lyrical about how she fell.
No, get up and keep on going. You know, so they did great. Look, straight up, I ain't gonna lie. I might watch this match again. It was awesome. And I have not said that about any other AEW match in their 3 years going on, entering their 4th. Mm-hmm. You know,
it was a really good match.
I'm gonna tell you, when Swerve and Our Glory come out, certain people just think that's a stupid name. No, I think that's an awesome name. Mm-hmm. I think that's an awesome name. You know, it's better than 2.0.
Yeah.
You know, just saying. 2.0 what? Is there a 3.0? What, do you elevate something? I don't know.
Was there a 1.0?
So FTR. No one has a problem with that name. They love it. But Swerve in Our Glory, come on. You know, they were the Revival. And Young Bucks, all no jealousy, whatnot. Fuck the Revival. And then so it's like, nope, forever the Revival. You know, so FTR, here we go. You know, so I think Swerve in Our Glory is a great name. I like how they, hey, look, the color match. They look like a tag team.
They coordinate very well.
FTR coordinate very well. Dax Harwood come out. Now, it's no secret. Dax is rumored that Dax is trying to go back. He wants to go back to the WWE. Rumored don't make it true. Keep that in mind. Rumored don't make it true. Rumored means somebody said, someone believed, and then now they spread it like it's truth. They don't know if it's true. And even if it is, you can't blame them. After the Bucks and others have buried them, you can't blame that. But something tells me if, you know, if Cash Wheeler is going to stay in AEW, something tells me Dax is going to stay.
Yeah.
But Dax come out, he was pumped up. He stiffened up a lot on Keith Lee. You know, it was,
on both of them.
Yeah, he was laying them in quick succession too. So that was Dax. Dax is a show stealer. By himself, Dax is awesome. Cash Wheeler is awesome. So together, they're amazingly perfect.
They're awesomer.
Lee and Strickland, yeah, they still got a lot to go through before they could call themselves an actual polished tag team.
But they're polishing themselves.
Yes, and they're learning. You can see them learning in the ring if you watch it. You can see them taking moments to learn in this ring.
And they were certainly cutting the ring off. They had Cash trapped in that ring for a minute.
And making sure to tag predominantly the proper way. Mm-hmm. Predominantly. Yeah, there's some back slaps and leg. Look, FTR did it the right way. Yeah, it was a tag to the knee. And they could have got in because the ref allowed it. Mm-hmm. The ref was going to allow it. But then they buried the ref and humiliated the ref if anyone noticed it. They got full control and then they tagged the proper way and then made the exchange. That is what you call excellence of execution. I enjoyed this match.
It was really good.
To the letter. The hiccup was a hiccup. Any other time, I'd be like, that's a botch. Or y'all just look dumb. That's so unprofessional.
Or the norm.
Yeah. No. And this is like, keep going. I like both of these teams. I want to see Swerve in Our Glory wrestle more. I want to see FTR wrestle more. I want to see the Acclaim wrestle a little bit more. There's nothing wrong. Look, I get it. I get it. These are flagship shows. I get it. But honestly, I know y'all gonna be like, crap. But look, as much as it pains me to say, I would have Swerve in Our Glory working Dark and Dark Elevation. I would have FTR working Dynamite. And then I have the Acclaim working what they can, singles and or tag on Rampage.
I would have Swerve in Our Glory wrestle either Dynamite or Rampage, and I would put the Gun Club on the Elevation.
The Gun Club they're okay. No, they're already all right. You know, they got their Shawn Michaelisms down. They've got their antics down. They are, how can I say, polished but not seasoned, if that makes any sense. They know what to do. They know how to do it, but they don't have the experience to either hold back or push forward and change gears on a moment's notice, depending upon how the crowd is reading it. So they're not seasoned, but they know how to tag. They know how to work each other in that ring. They know how to work the crowd. They got all the fundamentals down. They're solid. They're polished in that. They're just not seasoned. You know, that's how I see it. You know, it's a nice, clean, juicy steak. It just ain't been, thoroughly cooked to medium rare.
Gotta put some salt on it.
Need a little salt. This match here was, I think it's going to be the show stealer, because I was like, this should have been the main event. It should have been the main event. They went out there and said, let's just steal the show. And I don't blame them. The end comes after Strickland gets the low blow, and that's taken advantage of, maybe unwittingly by Keith Lee. But Swerve and Our Glory, they came out to boos. No, Strickland came out to moderate cheers. Keith Lee came out and then boos came in. But then Keith Lee did a high split leg double leapfrog over FTR. Not one of them, both of them. And had the ability to spin drop, get up, crossbody, and then he had the crowd. And the crowd ain't worried about who you are. They're worried about what moves you do. He did that move and now he's a crowd favorite. He went from a heel to a crowd favorite in that series of moves. So this isn't a pro wrestling crowd. This is a move crowd. Because you shouldn't be able to be swayed that quick. Am I impressed? Yes. Was I impressed? Extremely. But my mind is still, what are you doing? Swerve he's shifted to heel. Mm-hmm. Is Swerve trying to convince you, or are you trying to stay a face and keep the team neutral? It's like, yeah, we boo him, but we like what y'all do, so we cheer. Are you working the crowd? You working each other, or y'all don't know what you're doing in this regard? That's up to the future to decide. Because it can look like one thing, everybody. It can look like one thing, and then all of a sudden, you realize, crap, they didn't know what they were doing the whole time. Mm-hmm. It's messed up, but that's what happens. Swerve, yeah, he's a good heel. I want him to stay a heel.
He is a good heel.
He is a damn good heel. He don't need to leave it. He don't. Keith Lee would be better as a heel. He would. He's not doing babyface moves. So he's all right. He's just Keith Lee moves. All right. So I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I think they'd be better as a heel team. But then at the end, after the win, that's when the Gun Club come over the rails from being FTR and then start attacking FTR. And then the Acclaim run in and they save FTR with Colton. I think he got up with his arms waving in the air. And
jumped out. It was just the worst thing in the world. He had to get away.
I thought that was funny. Mm-hmm. I like during the match. One of my favorite things to see was that it went from Avalanche to a superplex onto Lee, and then Cash coming off the top rope with honestly mid-air changing crossbody to make sure that he doesn't hurt Keith Lee. It was great. It was awesome. I also enjoyed, one of my favorite things when they thought they was going to get the pin, and then Strickland, with the horror movie save to interrupt the pin, and he's outside laughing about it. I was like, that's get kudos from me. You get applause. You get recognition. It's too much in this match. Way too much to talk about in this match. It's awesome. 30 minutes into talking, and you're talking about two matches. Mm-hmm. And it's roughly a 30-minute program right now. So, look, we're going to end it here and see what else happens that would be interesting. So, man, that
more than we thought there would be.
Yes. Two more than what we thought would be worthwhile watching. I wonder how they're going to top this. How do you follow this match? You can't. Just these two matches should have been in the main event. But anyway, let's see what else happens. Okay, this one will be short. Ain't going to spend a lot of time on this one. But MJF comes out. I didn't think anything else interesting was going to happen, but he come out and I'm like, oh, okay. The main event of the show came out. Yeah. All right. So he comes out. He's the cool heel. He can try to be, the super heel, the epic bad guy, the grotesque villain. It's not going to happen. The crowd loves him so much that they can't wait to be insulted by him.
They cannot wait. No. He did his imitation of Goon.
He imitated Goon perfectly.
Oh,
and then, Goon's wife is like, you can't just say with all due respect and then say something insulting. He goes, with all due respect, shut up. And we marked out for them, clapping and laughing. Oh man. MJF goes on to keep doing other stuff and mocking and insulting, and he's telling the truth. He insults Regal. He talks about what he needs to do, and then all of a sudden Stokely comes out
and interrupts,
and then he comes out when he's about to do his outro.
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, dude, you just asking for trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Stokely needs to put his glasses on. His face looks too big without him.
It looks too big without him, and then he comes out with his eyes big and smiling with his big Kool-Aid green, and he looks creepy.
Yes. And MJF lays down the law. You don't touch these guys. And he keeps pulling out. It's supposed to be for the AEW title.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all gonna say this. We know that Penta's not gonna win. Okay? Yeah. We all know that. As soon as in our main event, Jon Moxley will be defending his title against Penta. Oh, well, Moxley's gonna win anyway.
It doesn't make any sense. I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense.
He asked for somebody who says no fear, that has no fear in him. Oh, he's leading up to this. And then Penta, okay.
Yeah.
Cero miedo. Okay. And this is going to be garbaged up. There's going to be tables. There might be some blood, but it's going to go to the outside before a minute is in and all this other stuff. Yada, yada, yada. I expect this.
Yeah.
So we're probably not even going to cover the main event, and it's almost getting to the point where because Tony Khan wants to get butts and seats in the beginning, so he's putting all the stuff that should be in the final segments of this show in the opening, because you got to keep people there and hope that they stay. But when the garbage starts to happen, the views are going to drop. That's just going to happen, because real wrestling fans that are hoping and that are seeing this, and people say, no, you should watch this. These people are good. They show up. Okay. And then they see the others come out. I'm leaving. And that's what happens. But that'd be another episode that we do. That'd be a different episode on why the ratings are going down. And it ain't what you think. It's worse than what Tony Khan and other stuff is doing. It's worse. So I like how he had to do that. He put Stokely in his place. Stokely looked like, I'm not really going to listen to this too much.
Basically, yeah.
I'm going to do what it is and I'm going to do.
It's like Stokely is the dog sitting at the table, and MJF just put a steak on the table and said, don't eat the steak when I leave the room.
Dog is like, all right, man. As soon as you leave this room, soon as you leave, Playboy, this is going to happen.
I'm going to destroy it.
Yep, you got nothing coming back, man. I done hope you learned and picked up that textbook on how to properly starve, bro. So that's what happened. MJF, then he says, oh yeah, where was I? Yeah, my awesome catchphrase. He goes, and I am Maxwell Jacob Freeman, and I'm better than you. Throws the mic up, the crowd finishes, and I said, now that's being over like a god right there. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's godly levels of over. So MJF, just saying, look, I ain't got to wrestle. I can talk and be just as exciting, if not better, than what you're going to see in the ring. Mm-hmm. He knows he's that generational talent. That's amazing. My verbal skills are so great, I don't need to wrestle. I can just talk. Hey, Triple H done slipped on not getting this guy in the beginning. Mm-hmm. MLW slipped on not making this guy a consistent world champion.
They let him go.
AEW slipped on not paying him what he deserves, bringing other people in and paying them more and giving them more recognition and keeping MJF at the opening of anything so people forget about him by the time the hour is over. So yeah. See, that was my phone. I hate that. Anyway, that's what that is. And Tony Khan's made right. He's doing the right thing. And with Punk allegedly trying to leave AEW, for the right and wrong reasons and getting in his own way, somebody's got to step up. And Goon ain't it.
Nope.
Danielson, as a heel, can't rival MJF. Heels can't fight heels because it looks terrible. All right? When it comes to this type of programming. So, we'll just see how it is. All right? So, let's see what else happens. All right. So, the next, I guess, interesting thing is Riho versus Jamie Hayter. I was making popcorn. I'm eating popcorn. It's got, olive oil, sugar, salt. And I put some sea salt flavored roasted peanuts in there. That's what I did. A little cracked pepper in there too, to spice it up some. Get this microphone straight. So that's what I was doing. I was, enjoying my little snack. And the bit inside of my mouth that ticks me off. I'm like, look, commit to the bite. If you, I'm sure, y'all out there eating something and then bite the inside of your lip or your cheek or something. Don't you ever get frustrated and just say, commit to the bite. Stop that. Oh, there's pain. No. You want to chew it off. Chew it off. Just deal with it. That's about where I'm at. Stop the BS and just chew the damn meat off in the mouth. That's what you want. That's what you need to get.
That's not me.
Maybe you'll be satisfied, and then you won't do it anymore. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out how to stop that. I don't know. But Cedar said that she liked the match.
I enjoyed the match.
What kind of bullshit? But go ahead.
I'm surprised I did because I've seen a lot of craptacular women's matches in AEW. With flubs and botches and people falling all over and hair. But to me, in this match, I didn't see a whole lot of errors. I didn't. It looked like they were both taking the match seriously, Jamie Hayter and Riho. Riho is small, so everything that she did to Hayter, she had to launch her entire body into it. She wasn't just in there trying to throw little pissant punches. Everything. She had to launch her entire body into it. Both of them were kicking out of stuff. You can see Riho get frustrated, which is also something new to me because before it was like, Riho wins, yay! When she had no business winning. You could see that the moves that Hayter put on Riho looked even more impactful because Riho is just so small. So when she yanked her up, she yanked her way up. When she slammed her down, it was abysmal looking. I enjoyed it. I'm not saying it's the best match in the world, no, but it entertained me. Riho got frustrated. She tried to pin Hayter. Hayter kicked out. She just hit her in the side. I was like, there you go. Petty Betty. You kick out, you get a blow. I enjoyed it. And then when Riho got ripcord clothesline, Hayter clothesline the hell out of Riho. Riho didn't kick out. And she just laid there. She didn't not kick out and then roll over and get to her feet and start talking trash. No. She laid there yep, I'm done for a bit. And she was done for a bit. Hayter kicked out on one of Riho's, a powerful move of Riho. She kicked out and she laid there like she should have. Not, okay, I kicked out, time for the next move. So it was a lot more convincing. It just didn't look like move puke to me.
I hear you. I can't really argue with none of that. I can't. Some jackweeds will just say Riho is small, ergo she should lose or not be there at all, just because she's small. I can see if Riho was going against, Awesome Kong or something.
Oh, yeah.
We'd have an issue.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say this. I wish Riho would change her attire. She's little. She's cute. So she wears the little frilly stuff and to look like a little doll. Okay, I get it. So when she does her foot stomps, they look adorable. They don't look like they should hurt. Now I know they do, but they don't look like they should hurt. It's like, oh, she stomped on me. Oh my God, you're so cute. I think it takes away from the possible impact that she could have because you can't hear her hit the mat or anything. Hayter is such a remarkable wrestler. She's whenever I watched Hayter wrestle in the past, AEW obviously, where it's on Dark or anything else, I'm like, I realized she don't really make mistakes and she keeps to the basics. Her opponents make her look stupid. And I was noticing that, but then I'm like, And then they say this is their first time meeting. And no, I've watched Jamie Hayter job to Riho on 2 occasions on Dark. I've watched it. And then in some kind of weird match, she jobbed her on Dynamite once. But they know that the audience ain't keeping up with that stuff. They're not doing the full-on thing like that. So, yeah. But I watched her lose to Riho on Dark. All right. I watched it. The 1, 2, 3. And I'm like, well, obvious Riho's going to win. She's, popular. Hater, don't know her, really know her. Which I think is a stupid reason for a win-loss anything. But in any case, with this, the only surprising thing out of it, because I know both of them know how to, look, they both know how to work. They both know how to do a lot of things. They know how to wrestle. I get that. I think there should have been more of a build to this match, but they did great. They did great, and I was stunned and surprised that Hater won. And with a lariat that looks a billion times better than Okada's. And you never get a chance to see Hater do that lariat. And when she has on Dark, it meant nothing, and that ticks me off. I personally love a great lariat and a sleeper choke. I love those things. So when I see an amazing lariat used and someone kick out, I'm like, well, that just shows your company is shit. That's just me. But I'm glad that Hater won because she needs to get on some kind of positive streak instead of jobbing to everybody. Hater is she got size. She's got skill. She needs to increase her work ethicness in terms of workability in that ring, selling and looking like she's in trouble. She needs to work on that a little bit and then, fighting out or whatnot. Don't Sammy Guevara it and just be fresh all the time. You gotta, hey, I'm fighting back one way or the other. So I think that's what's needed. So, hey, good job. Hater won. And we're going to see some kind of promo by Eddie Kingston, which will always be good. So we might say something about that. If not, we'll move on to the next thing. So we'll see what's up. At the end of the Moxley match, and yeah, like I said, don't want to talk about anything bad, so, or say too many negative things, so skipped.
Yeah.
We watched it.
Yeah.
Wish we didn't.
Yeah.
But MJF has to come out and save Moxley from the Firm, and then he gets blasted and beat down, and he's fighting back periodically, but he can't, so then he gets put through a table by Morrissey. I wish he had a better name. Mm-hmm. Seriously, it would literally be in the back. It's like, hey, look, you got a match against Morrissey. Okay. I'll check on the little dude. And then, I'll go out and then he come out and I'm like, you ain't no Morrissey, you big. Don't tell me this dude was like this.
Check on the little dude.
I'm 5'11" and a half. I ain't that far from 5'12". What y'all doing?
You were that 5'12".
What? He's got a full 12 over me. Can't be doing this. That's how that would go. And I break his knees and pin him. But after that, so this is an MJF face turn. But I like how he said in the opening, but I'm MJF. You know how I'm going to be. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, MJF is masterfully pulling an Eddie Guerrero. See? Because this is exactly what Eddie Guerrero did. He didn't change anything. He didn't stop what he was doing. The crowd just liked that he was doing it to the bad guys. It's that simple. So, that's what's going to happen. I hope that MJF is so awesome that he doesn't become a face. They just cheering him and he's still going after the good guys too.
Go after everybody.
Yep. That'd be nice. Or, I don't know, maybe he joins his first group, the Pinnacle. That was his group.
Do they exist?
FTR and
oh yeah,
dude, whatever his name is.
Nah, I don't.
Oh yeah, Spears.
I don't foresee that.
You don't? Yeah, it'll be what it is.
Oh, I gotta say this: the Firm whooped up on John Moxley. They did a poor job.
Yeah,
they did a poor job of beating up on John Moxley. Because if I were in AEW and I had the opportunity to whoop Jon Moxley's ass, and it wasn't in the match, I would make him bleed every opportunity I got because he seems to cream for it.
Yeah. Can't blame it.
If he ain't bleeding, the job wouldn't be done.
That's about how he feels with his matches.
But you know,
he didn't bleed this match.
I don't like him.
Just did a bunch of stuff that makes no sense. I wish he would, oh, my arm, it hurts so much. Oh, my arm. And then get in the ring and use his arm like nothing's wrong with it. But, let's not get, let's not let reality get in the way of great fiction. That's how I see it. In any case, y'all.
Bad fiction.
See, this is why we didn't want to close on nothing bad. MJF got brutalized. They said that they're going to stay on this for more developing things. So they're going to stay in that arena and they're going to keep reporting on it, everybody. They are not leaving that arena until everyone else has left, and they got to follow MJF and I guess going to keep reporting on whatever he does.
This is bad comedy star scream.
Megatron, is that you? Here's a hint. See you next time.